So today is strictly 100% technology based, and you know, what I would even recommend if you don't have one right now, you must know someone that has one that does not have math right now. Just work it out with them. Can I borrow it for period 1? Because, you know, I need it for math, okay? So, but I would highly recommend, if you need a note, I'll give you a note, but you need to really learn how to do this stuff well and make your life easier, okay? Now, as you can see, when I open up my calculator, slowly, okay, whenever you hit y equals, it says y equals. That's only going to be your ever one option for graphing. It must be in the form y equals, or else you cannot put it into your calculator. So knowing where we're going, we look at all these and go, can't graph them right now. Can't put them in my graphing calculator. Why? Because they're not y equals. Okay? Now, the trick is to always get the 3y, 10y, 6y all by itself. Okay? And remember, we're always doing bed mass backwards when we do these. Okay? So we're going to do all the addition subtraction we can to get rid of all the other stuff. Okay? And you can see that 2x is adding to 3y, right? But that's a positive 2x, so the first thing we want to do is get it out of there and put it over there. And then I'm going to write this as 3y equals negative 2x plus 10. Now, all the other times we do algebra, we always write it at the end, right? I subtract at the end, I write it. Why am I putting the x first? Right, because I want it in what form? Y equals mx plus b. Okay? So if you always know where you're going, you're going to think a little bit more efficiently. Okay? Now, how many y's do I have right now? 3 y's, don't I? Now, a lot of people go, there isn't 3 y's there. There's only 1 y there. No, I get that all the time. There's only 1 y there. That's like saying, I have 3 dogs. How many dogs do I have? You go, 1. What? Why? Because dogs. There's only 1 dogs there. No, but that little number in front, it's kind of significant. When you say you have 3 dogs, I guess technically there's only 1 dogs there, right? But the number in front, it's kind of meaningful, right? So I get students telling me all the time, there's 1 y. I'm like, what? That doesn't look like a 1, right? They're like pointing to it. There's 1 y, 1 y. I go, but there's a 3 in front of it saying there's 3 y's, right? And they're like, oh, right? And I'm like, if someone said they had 3 cows, would you go, oh, so you have 1 cow, eh? Like, why would you say 1 cow? I just said I had 3. No, but you only have the 1 cow there, right? And people would think that's ridiculous, but I don't know how many times people tell me there's 1 y there, okay? There isn't. There's 3 y's. You know why I know? Because it's the 3 in front of the y, right? That's telling me how many y's. Someone invented that. They're like, hey, let's put a number in front of it, and that'll tell how many, right? And everyone's like, high five, and I like it. Let's do that from now on, right? Everybody will get that, right? They need to come into a 10C class where not everybody gets that, okay? So now, how many y's do I have? 3. How many do I want? I always want 1, okay? So, and what is the 3 doing to the y? It's multiplying, okay? Any number beside a variable is always multiplying, so I will do the opposite. And just make sure you do it to everybody on the other side. So y will equal negative 2/3 x plus 10 over 3. The other class is a little bit behind you guys because of obviously we've been moving ahead. And they get a fraction at the end, they're freaking out. They got 5 over 2, they're freaking out. I'm like, hey, 2.5, relax. It's okay, it's going to be all right. It's going to be all right. Need a hug? No, you all right? Sit down, right? You can have decimals as the, like, what is this? Okay, but what is 3.33? What is it? What is that thing that I just circled? Yep. In this form? In this, yeah, but what is it in the form y equals mx plus b? What does it symbolize? The y-intercept. Can you have a y-intercept of 3.3333? Yep. Okay. We don't want to change the slope to a fraction ever, or to a decimal ever. That's just bad, right? Because if it was 0.3333, like what do I do? Go up 0.33 and write 1? Yeah, I guess you could. Okay, but let's keep it as, well actually this would be negative 0.666. Let's keep it as negative 2/3. Okay? Now b is a little bit more messed up because everything's on the left. But I still want the same goal. Have the whatever, 2y's, 5y's, 20y's, get them by themselves. So we know to subtract 2x, and that'll get it on this side. We also need to get rid of that negative 5, so I will add 5 to both sides. And then you'll get 10y equals negative 2x plus 5. Okay, and another thing that I really had to answer a lot is students wanted to put this together and call that 3x. Can you do that? Why not though? Well, my question is why can't I just add negative 2x plus 5 and get 3x? They're not, 2 words, like terms. X's can only be added to X's, Y's to Y's, ABC's to ABC's, right? So that's why you can't get that together. What do I do next? Okay, and make sure you get everybody. So y will equal negative 1/5 x plus 1/2. Okay. Now, why is C? Like, why was C given as an example? What would we do with that? Yeah, I can subtract 1/3. Okay, and then I have negative 1/3 x. Oops, sorry, what am I talking about? X minus 1/3 equals 2y. Okay, now I'm going to divide everybody by 2. So I'll divide this by 2, and divide this by 2, divide that by 2. So that's confusing, hey? 1/3 over 2. Okay, now does everybody, can I just, this is the same thing as negative 1/3 divided by 2, correct? That's what that means. All I'm doing is writing a different form, which is 2 over 1, correct? So that is the same thing as negative 1/3 times 1/2. Negative 1 times 1 is 1, negative 1 I should say, and 3 times 2 is 6. So my new form is x over 2 minus 1 over 6 equals y. Yeah, there's a 1 there. Yeah, so that's better, yeah, yes. Okay, because now we have a slope of 1/2. Yep.
So you could express it as 1/2.
It's better to do that actually. Yeah. Yes?
When you have like the fraction,
Mm-hmm.
why do you reduce them?
You always have to. It's just like a law. In some countries you go to jail if you don't do that.
But like the y-intercept is like, why would you change it? Like if it's like 5 over 10.
Okay, well, we always have, it's just a common rule. 5 over 10 you must always reduce. Always. Okay? And your calculator again does that for you, right? I've shown you that a few times. Just put it in, 5 over 10, math, enter, enter. And you'll get the, okay? Now, we want to solve these linear equations. And today we're just going to learn it doing it 100% by technology. And, oh, sorry. Yeah, okay. We're doing it graphically, but I want to prove it using technology as well. And then the next, oh, maybe we are just going to stay away from it today. But I still, like, it's no point, right? I want to show you both ways. Okay, so y equals 2x minus 5. Now, can I graph this? How? Who can tell me what to put down? Yes, sir.
Start with the point of 2y
Mhm.
intercept -5.
So 1, 2, 3, 4. Negative 5 is right there, yeah.
And then your slope is 2, which is like 2 over 1, so it's up 2 and then right.
Yeah, up to right 1. Okay? And then, and this is where, you know, a ruler comes in handy. Now, I like to actually go up 2 over 1, up 2 over 1, right? Really get a nice consistent pattern going so I do a better job of drawing my line. Okay, now, the second one is not so nice to work with at this point. So what should I do first to get it into the form I like? Minus 2x. So I'll get 3y equals negative 2x plus 9. And then what am I going to do? Divide by 3. Y equals negative 2/3 x plus 3. Okay, so to graph this, y-intercept is 3. I'm going to put that point. Then what am I going to do? Down 2, 1, 2, and right 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, already kind of gives away that one worked out kind of nice because it, okay. So I'm going to draw that line. Again, I could do another down to right 3 if I wanted. Do this one in just different color. Okay, so by looking at this, what's the solution? Three comma 1. Almost like my graph moved a bit. There we go. Okay, so and I want you to, when you, after you write 3, 1, I want you to draw an arrow right to the answer. So again, what is a system of equations? Like what's a system of gears or system of pulleys? Yes? Okay. The minimum number of equations to be a system is 2 or more equations. With 2 or more variables. And solving a system means this. Finding the intersection point. So I may ask you on an exam, on the written response, solve this system algebraically. But after you solve it and you do all, can you check it? Yes. Okay. And a question like that might be out of 3 or 4, the answer only being 1. So if you can't do all the algebra, but you can put it in your calculator and everything, all you're going to get is the 1. The important thing is it helps you check the question that you just did algebraically. And then, so I just want to put my 2 in. So I will put in y equals 2x minus 5. And then negative 2/3. You see I always put the fraction in brackets. X plus 3. And I want to verify I put it in the calculator correctly. And then I can hit graph, but I usually hit zoom 6 because it helps me make sure it brings it back your settings after you do a bunch of things. Now again, that's, and then I can find intersect by going second, trace, 5, enter, enter, enter. Okay, so yes, I want you to do it algebraically, but I also want you to know if you for sure got it right by checking it. And it's kind of nice to know that you got it right for sure, because that's, I mean, yeah, you guys, you're like, oh, I'm so far away from the diploma, but everybody comes out. Every other school I've been in, everybody stands outside the gym and they mark the test. Okay? They mark their diploma together. They all remember the questions, they all remember their answers, and they compare their answers, and you hear, I checked it in my calculator, it worked. Right? And the other person they're arguing with, did you check it? No, I didn't check it. I know it's right though. No, no, it's not. I checked mine in my calculator. I put it in, right? So you almost have to jump ahead and think of that conversation. You never want to leave that diploma early, and you want to make sure you do that diploma at least 3 times before you walk out of there. Okay? Okay, so what we're, oh, here's another thing too. Let's do it on the next one. There's 3 ways to check this. First of all, you do it. The second thing, you graph it. The third thing is put in your 2 points and see if you get the right answer. Okay, now you can see we've got y equals 8 minus x. Okay, so y equals 8 minus x. What if I change that to y equals negative x plus 8? What's the slope? Negative 1 over 1, correct? So I'm going to go to 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I am going to go from there, I will go. How am I going to get my next point? Down 1 over 1, down 1 over 1, down 1 over 1. Okay? Okay, so I'm going to just draw, oops. So that's my black line. Oops, put it in black. Yeah, that's my black line right there. Now, the other one, I want to get that so it's y equals 2. So the first thing I'm going to do is, what's my first step on that second equation? Minus 3x to both sides. I'll get 14, or sorry, negative 3x plus 14 equals negative 2y. And then I will negative 2 on both. So what's this turn into? So that's positive 3 over 2x minus 7 equals y. Okay, from there, I'm going to go down to minus 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I am going to, from there, how will I find my next point? Up 3 and right 2. Okay, now these I do a few points. Up 3 over 2. Up 3 over 2. Because it really actually helps me narrow in on the exact value. Okay, so what's my answer? Yes. 6 comma 2. Now, remember that that intersection point is where both of them are happy. Both of them are solved. But I want to check. My first one, y equals 8 minus x. So what's y? 2 equals 8 minus 6. 2 equals 2. Check. The next one. 14 minus, or equals, sorry, not minus, equals 3 times x minus 2 times 2. 14 equals 18 minus 4. 14 equals 14. Last thing, I try to teach my students 3 ways to do a question, or 3 ways to be able to check a question on the diploma. Every year, I can always get a few people that get 100 on the diploma. I've never had a year that no one got 100 on the diploma. And it's because they know how to check it over. Okay, so 8 minus x. And this one I'm going to have to put in my, I'm just going to clear this. 3 over 2 x minus 7. Zoom 6. Second trace, which is calc 5. Enter, enter, enter. There it is. Okay. So there's, I did the question. I'm pretty confident I got it right. And then you move on, right? Yeah. Nothing really different in this one. We've done 2 of them. I think that's enough. Okay, I want to go to the next one, number 5. Okay, write a linear system to model this situation. To visit the Head Smash In Buffalo Jump Interpretive Center near Fort Macleod, Alberta, the admission fee is $5 for a student, $9 for an adult. In 1 hour, the 32 people entered the center. Doesn't make sense. 32 people entered the center, and a total of $180 admission fees were collected. Okay, so we got to get good at these. I need a money statement, and then I need a numbers statement. Okay, Hisham.
5S, X represents students.
Okay, let me.
9.
Okay, so let me write that. Student and.
And 8.
Okay, very similar to the quiz today. So what's your money statement?
5S plus 9.
So 5S. What'd you say? Plus.
9.
Okay, and you can even put money there. So you always do your money statement, and then you do your number statement. Okay, what's my number statement? Yes. Okay, I'm just going to go S plus A equals 32. Okay, so money and number. Might be number of people, right? In this case, it is. Okay, now, here's kind of the, if you want to solve for this, should you make it A equals? Should you make it S equals? You could make it A equals, you can make it S equals. What I would do is I would label my, like, what am I going to put on the X? What am I going to put on the Y? So it doesn't matter. Just be consistent. So I'm going to put students here and adults here. Now, if you switched yours, that's still going to work out. Your formulas will be different because what does adult stand for? What axis? Axis. What does students stand for? What axis is students? It's the X. And adults is the Y. So if I'm doing it with that in mind, what should I make these S equals or A equals? What do I always make it? What equals? What do I need for my calculator? What is Y? A. Y equals A. Does everyone get that? Okay, look. Y equals A. So make it A equals. Okay, we're going to make ours A equals. So for the top one, if we're going to make that one A equals, let's just write it down. 5S plus 9A equals 180. If I'm going to make it A equals, what do I do first? Minus 5S. I'll have 9A equals negative 5S plus 180. Then what do? Divide by 9. I'll have A equals negative 5/9 plus 20. Okay, and just put a rectangle around that because that's like the money statement that you're going to be graphing. The other one, I've got S plus A equals 32. Remember, A is Y, right? So let's get this A equals, I will minus S. So I'll have A equals negative 1 over 1S plus 32. I always like to have it in Y equals mx plus b. Okay, so let's graph the red one. What is the red one's y-intercept? What is the blue one's y-intercept? So what does my y have to go up to? Bigger than 32, right? So what's going to pull that off? Probably if I go by 2's. So 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. Yeah, I know it's pretty light on yours. 24, 26, 28, 30, 32. I'll even put a 34 in there, just because I like you guys. So the bad thing about this blue is it doesn't show up with the photocopier. Okay, and you can almost guess that if you're going to 32 on that side, go to 32 down here. 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 28, 30, 32, 34. Okay, so graphing the red one, I'm going to start at 20. And I am going to go where to find my next point? No, I'm doing the red graph right. Down 5. Now that's not easy because I got to get halfway through, right? So I'm going to get at 15 here, right? Don't go to 14 because I'm counting by 2's. And then I'm going to go right 9, 2, 4, 6, 8, Yeah, I got my 8 too far. That's why I just wanted to. So I'm right here in the middle at 9. Okay. See, this one you're going to see. Well, it's not going to be maybe as accurate as... Okay, because I should be going through 32. Oh no, that one does go farther. Yeah, to be able to stay on it right. Sorry, that one does go farther. Okay. So that is this. Okay, now the other one has a y-intercept of 32. And I'm going to go down 1, right 1, down 1, right 1, down 1, right 1, down 1, right 1. Okay, so you can see that pattern quite easily. So I'm going to make sure I cross through every one of these. Okay, so if I did it right, I'm actually supposed to be going right through here. Okay, now what point is that? 27, comma 5. So these are pretty cool because most people, like I've said before when I was talking about, most people would say you couldn't tell. There's so many different options, right? It always surprises people there's only one option for that, and that is 27, 5. Well, what does 27 stand for? Students, and 5, adults, right? Now, again, this is where the different conversation is going to be happening, because some students are going to be coming up in their test and they're going to be like, I don't know exactly where this is. I'm like, well, did you graph it and see? Okay, so -5/9 x plus 20 and -1s. Oh, I'm going to just clear this. -1x plus 32. And then here you're going to hit zoom 6 and you're going to find you see none of the graphs. And if you look on here, our graph is only showing 10, 10. So here's another trick that you can use. If you can't see anything, you can hit zoom. You watching up here? Some people have already zoned out. You keep going down till you see that. Zoom fit. And then hit enter. And what it'll do is it'll at least give you a piece of it. Okay? So it doesn't give it to you nicely, but it gets you in the ballpark where you can sit there and go, I don't need any of this. Right? That's not, I mean, it's over here somewhere. So how do you get, this is when y is, or when x is less than 0, right? So why don't I make, you go to your window, and you can make your x minimum 0, and your y minimum 0, and then you hit graph again. Now I purposely do it this way. I know what the window settings should be, because I've done enough of these. But if I just put the window settings in, and go, here it is, everyone's like, how did he do that, right? And it's trial and error, a lot of it. Do you see how I still cannot see where, because these two are going to come together. So what will I want to affect to see that? No, which one? X max, right? So you hit your window, and you go to X max, and maybe I'm going to make it 20. Now, I've already done the question. I see that 20 is not going to be enough. But I want to see that it's not enough. Oh, it's a little bit more. So then you just zoom and then or window, sorry, and you're like, hey, I'm going bigger, okay? And even though I don't have the identical window settings below, I have this all-important point right there. Second, trace, 5, enter, enter, enter. Okay, and there it is. So the two definitely go hand in hand. Knowing how to do it without a calculator, and then knowing how to check it with, obviously helps validify that you've got it. Okay? Okay, so you see the homework there? Okay. I don't have any graph paper. Just do it rough. You'll